Hello, folks. Ever since we were little, we've all been taught that early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Right? That saying has pretty much become a fundamental truth, just like eating our meals or drinking water every day. It's a belief we all share, especially as we've entered our golden years. But what if I told you today that this very habit, the one we treasure like pure gold, could actually be a deadly mistake? A mistake that 99% of seniors are making right now. A mistake that could be quietly destroying your health. Please, take a moment and think about this. Have you ever felt that even though you go to bed earlier than anyone else, you still wake up feeling groggy, tired, and just completely drained of all energy? Do you find yourself waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, your eyes wide open, just staring at the ceiling for hours until the sun comes up, feeling absolutely miserable? If your answer is yes, then it is very possible that the root of your problem comes from the very fact that you've been going to bed too early. Now, this isn't just sensationalism I'm using to scare you. As a doctor who has worked with folks over 70 for decades, I'm here to tell you that these are the latest, most urgent reminders from new scientific research. We often think that the longer we sleep, the better. The earlier we get into bed, the healthier we'll be. But in doing so, we are ignoring the most sophisticated, delicate machine inside our own bodies. Our biological clock. And after age 70, folks, that clock has quietly and permanently changed. Today's video will pull back the curtain on the mystery of scientific sleep after 70. We're going to analyze exactly why going to bed early is no longer the right fit. And most importantly, we will figure out what time we really should be going to bed, and exactly how long we need to sleep to truly recharge our bodies and minds. And please, be patient and watch this all the way through. Because at the very end, I will share a very simple secret. A small change that could forever change how you deal with waking up in the middle of the night. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have faced this. If what I just shared feels familiar, if you've ever had those nights of staring at the ceiling, please take a moment and comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's dive into the first part of our discussion. We're going to explore the 2 core reasons why going to bed early no longer fits our bodies after age 70. This is the foundation. Once you understand this, everything else will make perfect sense. Reason number 1. Your biological clock has changed. This is the most important, the most fundamental reason. We often force ourselves to go to bed, but our bodies, our brains, they simply aren't ready. You see, inside your brain, you have a commander-in-chief of sleep. Its scientific name is melatonin. You can think of it as a natural sleeping pill that your body creates for free. The system is beautiful. When it gets dark outside, your brain starts to produce this substance, and as the levels rise in your blood, you start to feel that gentle, warm wave of sleepiness. Your eyelids get heavy, and your body knows it's time to rest. When the sun comes up, the brain stops making it, and you naturally wake up. For your entire life, this clock has been incredibly reliable. But here is the critical truth that no one ever told us. After age 70, this sophisticated internal clock undergoes 2 profound changes. First, the amount of melatonin your body produces starts to decrease. For many, it can be as much as half of what it was when you were younger. This means that sleep signal, it just isn't as strong. It's more of a whisper than a loud command. Second, and this is the part that causes so much frustration, the timing of that signal is delayed. It comes later. When you were 40 or 50, your brain might have started sending those strong, go-to-sleep signals at 9 p.m. sharp. But now, at 70 or 75, that signal might not even start to ramp up until after 10 p.m. I had a patient, let's call him Robert. Robert was a proud early bird his whole life, in bed by 8:30, asleep by 9. He carried this habit into his retirement, thinking it was the peak of healthy living. But he came to me, deeply distressed. He'd lie in bed from 8:30, wide awake. He'd hear the clock tick. He'd start worrying about his finances, about his kids, about his health. He told me he felt like a failure. Doctor, why can't I even do something as simple as sleep? Robert wasn't a failure. He was just showing up for a race that hadn't started. Forcing yourself into bed at 8 or 9 o'clock, when your brain won't produce melatonin until 10, is just like an athlete at the Olympics. Jumping the gun before the starting pistol even fires. Your mind wants to sleep, but your body and brain are still in a fully awake state. The natural result: you toss, you turn. The harder you try to sleep, the more awake you become. We have to stop fighting our own biology. We have to learn to listen to this new clock, not the one we had 30 years ago. Reason number 2. Your body's actual need for rest has changed. This second reason works hand in hand with the first. Our lifestyle today is completely different, but we're still trying to sleep based on an old schedule that no longer applies. Think back to your working years. You were commuting, dealing with bosses and deadlines, raising children, running a household. The energy you used every single day, both physically and mentally, was enormous. By the end of the day, your body and mind were truly depleted. Sleep wasn't just a good idea. It was a deep, biological craving. But now, in our senior years, life has slowed down. And that is a wonderful, well-deserved thing. Our days are different. We might read, do some gardening, visit with family, or enjoy our hobbies. The pace is slower. The overall energy expenditure, the wear and tear, is simply not as high. This means that by 8 p.m., your body isn't that tired. You're not exhausted. You're not worn out and collapsing like you used to be. I had a lovely patient, Margaret. She was so frustrated. She told me, "Doctor, I just read my book and did a little gardening, but I've been in bed for 9 hours and I still wake up feeling tired. What's wrong with me?" I asked her to think of her body like a car. I said, "Margaret, when you were working and raising your family, you were driving that car 150 miles every single day. Of course, it needed a full tank of gas every single night. But now, you're just driving it a few laps around the neighborhood. The car is fine. But by 8 p.m., the gas tank is still nearly full, and you're insisting on driving it back to the gas station to top it off. It just doesn't need it." That metaphor clicked for her. This is what's happening to so many of us. We have this combination, a physiological lack of signal from the delayed melatonin, and a physical lack of need from a slower lifestyle. When these two things combine, going to bed early is no longer a virtue. It becomes a recipe for frustration. Alright, now we move into the second part. If going to bed early just leads to tossing and turning, what's the real harm? Many people think, "It's okay. Even if I can't sleep, at least I'm lying in bed and resting." Folks, as your doctor, I need to tell you, that belief is a very serious and potentially dangerous mistake. Lying in bed for hours, not sleeping, is not rest. It can lead to 2 serious health risks. Risk number 1, falling into the junk sleep trap. This is a concept I really want you to remember. Please, burn this into your mind. Sleeping long does not mean sleeping well. Our sleep quality is not, and I repeat, not determined by the number of hours our head is on the pillow. It is determined by the depth of our sleep. You see, your sleep is made of different stages, or cycles. You have light sleep, and you have deep sleep. That deep sleep, that's the magic. That's the phase where your body and brain truly get repaired. It's the housekeeping crew that comes in to fix muscle tissue, consolidate memories, and clean house. Here is the problem. As we get older, the amount of time we spend in that essential deep sleep, it gets shorter. Drastically shorter. Instead, we spend more and more time stuck in that shallow, light sleep stage. It's a state where you're half awake, half dreaming, and easily woken by the smallest sound. I call this junk sleep. It's just like junk food. It fills the time, but it has zero nutritional value for your body or your brain. And the consequences of a night filled with junk sleep are far more serious than just feeling a little tired. There are 3 main consequences. First, the most obvious one, you wake up still exhausted. This is the classic sign. You've been in bed for 8, maybe 9 hours, but you wake up feeling like you haven't slept a wink. Your body feels stiff, your mind is in a fog, and you might even feel dizzy or off balance. Second, an increased burden on your heart. This one is invisible, which makes it scarier. During true deep sleep, your blood pressure and your heart rate are supposed to drop. This is your cardiovascular system's nightly vacation. It's time to rest and recover. But when you're stuck in junk sleep, your system stays on standby. Your heart rate stays elevated. Your blood pressure doesn't drop properly. Your heart is being forced to work overtime. All night long. Over time, this invisibly increases your risk for high blood pressure, arrhythmia, and other heart conditions. Third, your brain doesn't get cleaned. This is critical. That deep sleep phase is precisely when your brain takes out the trash. It has a special cleaning system that clears out harmful toxins and proteins that build up during the day. If you don't get enough deep sleep, that junk doesn't get cleared out. In the short term, this leads to that senior moment, feeling, brain fog, forgetfulness, slow reactions. In the long term, studies have clearly linked a chronic lack of deep sleep to a significantly higher risk of memory loss diseases. So, please, we must stop chasing hours. We must stop being satisfied with just lying down. We have to start pursuing true, high-quality, deep sleep. Risk number 2. The psychological burden. The vicious cycle. This second risk is just as damaging, but it doesn't come from the outside. It comes from right between our own ears. It is the psychological burden of trying to sleep. The moment you lie down, and that awful thought pops into your head. Oh no. What if I can't sleep again tonight? At that very second, you have started a chemical reaction in your body. Your brain interprets that worry as a threat. And in response to a threat, it does what it's designed to do. It releases stress hormones, like cortisol. Now, cortisol is the fight or flight hormone. It's designed to make you alert. It makes your heart beat faster, your mind race, and your entire body go on high alert, so you can fight off a predator. But in this case, the predator you're trying to fight is your own anxiety about sleep. You are trying so hard to relax that you are making it chemically impossible to do so. Your body is flooded with awake, all because you're worried about being awake. This, folks, creates a truly terrible vicious cycle. It goes like this: you worry because you can't sleep, which causes your body to tense up and release stress hormones, which of course makes it even harder to sleep, which naturally makes you worry even more. I see this pattern every single day. And to make up for that terrible night, what do many of us do? We take a long 2 or 3 hour nap right in the middle of the afternoon. Or we wake up at 7 a.m. but just stay in bed until 9:30, dozing in and out of that junk sleep zone. These habits, as comforting as they might feel in the moment, are ironically destroying your body's natural sleep drive for nighttime. You're using up all your sleepiness in the daytime, guaranteeing that the problem will just happen all over again tonight. It's a self-sabotaging loop. We must break this cycle. And don't worry, because the solution is coming. In fact, if you have ever felt trapped in that anxiety loop, that vicious cycle I just described, please do me a favor. Just comment the word cycle below. It's a way of acknowledging the problem, and it's the first step to breaking it together. So, now that we truly understand the problem, let's get to the good part. What is the way out? This is the most important part of our time together. I'm going to give you the golden formula. This is a new strategy, based on science, for achieving truly high-quality, restorative sleep. It has 4 key elements. Element number 1. Find your golden window and duration. This is the first element, and it's the question everyone asks me. Okay, doctor, just tell me. What time should I go to bed? Alright, here is the answer. Based on your new biological clock, the one that's running a little bit later, the ideal time for you to get into bed is in the golden window between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. Why this window? It's simple. This is when your brain is finally starting to produce that peak level of melatonin. By waiting until this window, you are no longer jumping the gun. You are working with your body's natural rhythm, not fighting against it. You're going with the flow. And the second part of this element: how long should you sleep? For most seniors, the sweet spot, the ideal duration, is about 7 hours per night. Please hear me when I say this. We do not need to force ourselves to get 8 or 9 hours, like we did when we were 40. As we just discussed, forcing yourself to stay in bed longer just increases the amount of time you spend in that worthless, junk sleep. It actually makes you feel less restored. Remember my patient, Robert? The one who was going to bed at 8:30 and stewing for hours? We made one simple change. We pushed his bedtime back to 10 p.m. He was nervous at first. He said, "Doctor, that feels so late." But he trusted the process. Within 1 week, just 1 week, he came back and told me he was falling asleep in 15 minutes, not 2 hours. He was sleeping less, but he was feeling better than he had in years. So, this is your new goal. The goal is not 8 hours in bed. The new goal is 7 hours of quality sleep. Please, always remember, we are pursuing quality, not quantity. Element number 2. Build your sleep-promoting ritual. You can't just slam on the brakes at 10 p.m. and expect to instantly fall asleep. You have to land the plane gently. This is your sleep-promoting ritual, and it needs to start 1 hour before your head hits the pillow. I'm going to give you a simple 3-step checklist for this ritual. First step, and this is non-negotiable, folks. Get rid of the blue light. 1 hour before your golden window bedtime, you must put the phone down. Turn off the computer. And please, turn off the television. The bright, blue-toned light from these screens is the #1 enemy of melatonin. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still high noon. Second step, engage in active relaxation. Instead of staring at a screen, do something to calm your nervous system. My personal favorite recommendation for my patients: soak your feet in warm water. A temperature of about 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, is just perfect. Soak them for 15 minutes. This draws blood away from your head and down to your feet, sending a powerful relax signal to your entire body. Other great options? Listen to soft, instrumental music. Or read a physical book, a Rail paper book, under a single, soft, warm yellow light. Third step, create the ideal environment. Your bedroom must meet 3 criteria. It must be quiet, dark, and cool. Yes, cool. Your body's core temperature actually needs to drop by a degree or 2 to initiate and maintain deep sleep. A room that's a little on the cool side will help you sleep far better than a toasty, warm room. Use blackout curtains. Cover up those tiny little LED lights on your electronics. Your bedroom should be your sleep sanctuary, your cave. My patient Margaret, the gardener, her old ritual was to watch the 10 o'clock news in bed. It was the worst possible thing she could do. It was bright light and anxiety-inducing stories, right before she wanted to sleep. We swapped that habit for a 15-minute foot soak and a chapter of a novel. That simple change, it transformed her nights. So, tonight, build your own 1-hour ritual. Put the phone away. Warm your feet. Cool the room. Prepare your body for rest. Element number 3. The secret to handling night waking. The 20-minute rule. Alright, this is element number 3. This is the big one. This is the secret I promised you at the beginning. Doctor, what do I do? What do I really do when I wake up at 2 in the morning? First, I need you to listen to me very closely. Waking up once or twice in the middle of the night is a completely normal physiological phenomenon. It is not a disease. It is not a failure. It is incredibly common, especially as we get older. You do not need to panic about it. The problem isn't waking up. The problem is our reaction to it. The problem is lying there, staring at the clock, and starting that vicious cycle of anxiety. So, here is your new plan. It is a calm, scientific plan. I call it the 20-minute rule. Here's how it works, step by step. 1. You wake up. Your very first job is to not look at the clock. Absolutely do not. The moment you look at the clock, your brain will start calculating. Oh no, It's 2:30. I only have 3 hours left. And boom. You've just triggered the anxiety cycle. So, no clock watching. 2. You lie there calmly. If you feel like you've been awake for about 20 minutes, and you are still wide awake, not drifting off, you must calmly and decisively get up. Get out of bed. 3. Go to another room. The living room, for example. Keep the lights very dim. A single, soft, small lamp is all you need. Pour a small glass of room temperature or warm water and sip it slowly. Or, just sit on the sofa and do a few slow, deep belly breaths. You are not trying to do anything. You are just relaxing. 4. This is the most important step of all. You only return to bed when you feel actually sleepy again. That's the key. When your eyelids start to feel heavy, when you feel that wave of sleepiness returning, then, and only then, you go back to bed. Why does this work? It's brilliant. First, it short-circuits that vicious anxiety cycle. But more importantly, it retrains your brain. It teaches your brain a powerful, new association. It teaches your brain that the bed is only for sleeping, not for tossing, turning, and worrying. This rule was a total game-changer for Robert. He told me he stopped fearing waking up. He just accepted it. He'd get up, go to the living room, read a very boring magazine for 15 minutes. And as soon as he felt that sleepiness return, he'd go back to bed and fall asleep. This one simple rule, it can give you your nights back. Element number 4. Take care of sleep during the day. And finally, element number 4. This might be the most profound one of all. A good night's sleep doesn't start at 9 p.m. It starts at 9 a.m. The groundwork, the real preparation for sleep, is actually done during all of your waking hours. I'll give you 2 key daytime habits. Daytime habit number 1. Get more sunlight. Sunlight is the most powerful, natural, and free tool you have to fix your sleep. You must get at least 30 minutes of outdoor sunlight every single day. And, critically, try to get that sunlight in the morning. Here's why. That bright morning light hits your eyes and sends a powerful signal to your brain. It says, "It is daytime. Wake up. Be alert." This signal is what winds your biological clock. It sets your clock on a perfect 24-hour schedule. By getting that strong, awake signal in the morning, your brain will know exactly when to release that sleep signal, melatonin, at night. It makes your nighttime signal stronger, more precise, and more reliable. Daytime habit number 2. Maintain moderate exercise. Remember our car metaphor? Remember the gas tank? You have to drive the car. You have to use that energy. You don't need to run a marathon, but you do need to create what I call healthy fatigue. A brisk walk, Tai Chi, gentle yoga, gardening. Something that gets your heart rate up just a bit and uses your muscles. You need to give your body a reason to be tired at the end of the day. This was the final piece of the puzzle for Robert. He adopted the 10 p.m. bedtime, but he was also very sedentary. We added one simple thing, a 30-minute walk every single morning, rain or shine. The combination of the morning sun and the physical activity. It was magic. But, a very important warning. You must be careful when you exercise. The best time is before 4 p.m. You should absolutely avoid any strenuous, heart-pounding exercise within 3 hours of your bedtime. A heavy workout at 8 p.m. will raise your core body temperature and your heart rate. Exactly the opposite of what your body needs to do to fall asleep. So, your daytime assignment is simple. Get outside in the morning sun. Move your body. Use your energy. You will earn your sleep at night. Alright, folks. We have been on quite a journey together today, haven't we? We started this video feeling tired, frustrated, and maybe even feeling a little bit like a failure, just because we couldn't get a simple night's sleep. We were holding on to an old belief that early to bed was the only way, and it just wasn't working anymore. We've learned today to finally, gently, let go of that old, outdated concept that was no longer serving us. Let's summarize the diamonds, the key pieces of wisdom, that we've uncovered together, so you can take them with you. First, we are letting go of a myth. For us, after age 70, early to bed, early to rise, is no longer the unshakable truth. Our bodies have changed. Our clocks have changed. And that is perfectly okay. Second, we are remembering a new time frame. Our golden window for sleep is now between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And our goal is about 7 hours of true, quality sleep, not 8 or 9 hours of tossing and turning in that junk sleep zone. Third, we are preparing for success. We'll do this during the day, by getting that wonderful morning sunlight and moving our bodies. And we'll do it at night, by creating a ritual, avoiding that blue light, and making our bedrooms a cool, dark, peaceful sanctuary. And fourth, we are accepting what is normal. We will no longer panic when we wake up. We will face it with calm, using that wonderful 20-minute rule, responding with science, instead of with fear. Please, folks, if you remember nothing else, remember this. Sleep is a natural, gentle need of your body. It is not a task you have to complete. It is not a test that you are failing. Please, stop blaming yourself for not being able to sleep. Stop feeling like a failure just because you woke up in the middle of the night. Your body is so much wiser than you think. It knows, better than you do, when it truly needs to rest. Our job is simply to listen to it, and to create the best, most peaceful environment we can, from the inside out. And then, we just let go. We trust it. When you can finally let go of that anxiety about sleep, when you can face it with this new, scientific, and relaxed attitude, you will be amazed. You'll find that sweet, deep, restorative sleep will just naturally and gently return to you. As we wrap up, we've explored a whole new way to think about our rest. But as I always say, knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one commitment, the one small change, are you promising to make for yourself this week after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I promise to get my 30 minutes of morning sun. Or maybe, I will finally try that 20-minute rule, instead of just lying there worrying. Or even just, I will put my phone down 1 hour before bed. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments section below. Let's make a promise to ourselves, and let's inspire each other to take that first, crucial step. And if you found real value and maybe a little bit of peace in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. Most importantly, think of one person, just one friend or a sibling or your spouse, who you know is struggling with this exact same thing. Please, share this video with them. Your small act of sharing could truly change their quality of life. And finally, to make sure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of wisdom for our golden years, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community dedicated to living our very best lives together. Thank you so much for your time and your trust. I'll see you in the next video.